All right. Salute to all the Patreon members, all the supporters, all the contributors. I want to thank you guys for your support and your contribution made to the platform. It really means a lot to me. I apologize for being late. I was having some technical difficulties. I tried to download Voice Meter Banana. You guys are familiar with it? It sucks. Years ago, I tried using it. It didn't work. I followed the instructions on YouTube. It didn't work. Fast forward today, I tried using it because I want to play the audio from the computer and not bend the microphone on this headset over to the speaker so you guys can hear it. But that didn't work. All right. So it looks like I'm going to have to get another audio interface because the one at home, the Yamaha, that's going in and out. I threw away my other one when I was in Taiwan. So, in order to be able to play all the sounds coming from the computer and a microphone, I just got to get another audio interface. And I know a good one, and it's not cheap, but forgive me. All right. You guys could do me a favor, check out the links in the description box below for the Patreon page and the Facebook page. Come join the Facebook page and join under other like-minded brothers that are sharing their experiences, their photos, their videos with brothers such as yourself and also women. If you want to join, you can also. Join the Patreon page. Patreon, you guys can get, behind the scenes of what's going on, my day-to-day life, a lot of good game on the Patreon page, some of my stories that I share with you guys from my experiences living in uh Thailand, Taiwan, China, Hong Kong, all the countries I've been to, stuff that's going on behind the scenes I share with everyone on Patreon, pictures, videos, you name it. I'm about to post something after this. I'm going to get more and more active on Patreon because that's what's needed. All right. So I salute to everyone that is a supporter, everyone that's a subscriber. So today we have this floating around, RJ Hampton, okay, former NBA player, plays in the G League now. It's from the suburbs of Dallas, Texas. 6'4", 175 pounds. First round draft pick, 24th pick in the 2020 draft. He was selected by the Milwaukee Bucks. All right. But, just because you get selected doesn't mean you stay with the team. Sometimes they'll trade you off. So he got selected by the Milwaukee Bucks, but then he was traded to Denver Nuggets. So he played in the 2021 season for the Nuggets. Then he played 2 years for the Orlando Magic, 2021 to 2023. Then I guess in the offseason, he was playing for the Magic's G League. I don't know what happened there. 2023, he got picked up by the Pistons. 2023 to 2024, he played with the Miami Heat. And since then, he hasn't been in the NBA. All right. His average points per game in his career in the NBA was only 6.8 points, so about 7 points. His highest year was the 2020-2021 season with the Orlando Magics. He played 26 games with the Orlando Magics, 25 minutes a game. He averaged 11 points per game. All right, his field goal percentage was about 44% from the field. His three-point percentage is about 32%. Free throws, 66% that year, even though his highest year was with the Orlando Magic in 2022-2023, averaged about 84% from the free throw line. But that year, he only made about 6 points per game. So you're playing the one, and for whatever reason, I don't know if it's team chemistry or what, I guess the Atlanta Magic, they have a high standard, and they're like, hey, look, you averaging 6, 7 points a game, we can't have it anymore. He's bounced around for 1, 2, 3, 4 different teams within 4 years, and I guess um, I don't know how a lot of these teams are looking at him. They probably look at him as if he was a bust. I'm not calling him a bust. I'm just saying, maybe that's how the teams are looking at it, or it's team chemistry. I'm not sure. All right. So while he was playing, right, he met this woman that you see on the screen right here. All right. Flew to Norway. Are you Norwegian, or are you just living in Norway? You just traveling? Or are you actually Norwegian? You have the black hands, so I'm guessing you're traveling. Activo. All right. So the woman on the right is actually what do you call her? An influencer. That's a wild name. And a lot of people haven't picked up on an influencer. All right. To call somebody that's popular on the internet, influencing the minds of the masses. All right. This woman on the right is an influencer. I don't know when they met, but she is 2 years older than RJ. All right. That's a telltale sign. Okay. When a woman is with a man that's younger than her. But, I don't know what type of guy RJ is. I really don't know. But it sounds like she targeted this man right here. Okay. Sound like she's one of these young Karens in training that got herself with a ball player, and she's breaking bad on him because he's not in the NBA anymore. He's in the G League. I don't know how old this son is, but let me take you to her social medias, okay? Because she has about 149,000 followers on Instagram and 1.5 million followers on TikTok. So she's TikTok heavy. All right. Let me take you to her Instagram page. So her Instagram page, this is her, I guess, Tiffany Jeffcoat. VA, I'm guessing she's from Virginia. There's a lot of fine women in Virginia. Virginia is slept on when it comes to women. All right. Virginia slept on. But when I look at her pregnancy photos, this was from 2023. So I'm 34 weeks today. So 34 weeks, what is that? About, oh, okay, damn. You and your you about to pop in 2 weeks. So I'm gonna assume that the baby is a little over a year old, right? So she was pregnant last year, had the baby last year. She posted up a TikTok video playing around, but they said, like, how soon did you get pregnant after you met your baby daddy? And she said 4 minutes. Those words didn't come out of her mouth. She was like lip syncing an audio. So I'm not gonna say they had a one night stand and then she got pregnant. I don't know. But from the sounds of it, from the looks of it, it sounds like she got pregnant fairly quick after she met her dude. Right? Doesn't look bad. It's a good looking woman right here, but I mean, you can see it in the eyes. Dangerous, right? Social media heavy. You post everything. As a matter of fact, I'm not even on the TikTok page. Let me show you the TikTok. So this is her TikTok channel, right? 1.5 million followers, almost 88 million likes. Okay. You look at it right here, her videos are averaging about 500,000 per video. All right. I'm pretty sure it's for women all over the world.
Things that my next boyfriend.
So you can't hear this audio, but this post right here, right? So this is to take a stab. She made this a few weeks ago, taking a stab at her dude. Things my next boyfriend cannot have. Parents. Why wouldn't you want to have? Why wouldn't you want your man to have parents? To have a mother and a father in their household? Maybe because they have influence on him and they know you ain't shit and they're telling him like, why are you surrounding yourself with her? Why did you get pregnant by her? Why are you dating her? So it seems like the parents were a major influence to tell him, hey, stay away from this chick. And they were right. All right. I could see it in there. As a matter of fact, they shared this on the Shade Room, and the majority of the women were not co signing her BS. All right. A lot of women were not feeling her. A lot of women were not feeling her in the comment section. All right. Things my next boyfriend cannot have. Hold on. Let me pause this. I want her hand to get out the way. All right. A baby mama, but you're a baby mama, right? So if a man were to make this list, if all men were to make this list, which they should, right? Well, I wouldn't say the parents part. If all men were to make a list like this and they would have put a baby mama on there, you would be out of the dating market. You would be single forever. And at best, you would be a bust down, not a woman of the night. You wouldn't be a BM, you would be a BD. You'd be a bust down, right? Things my next boyfriend cannot have. An ex. Everybody has an ex, all right? And if you're dating somebody that doesn't have an ex, you're dating a virgin, and it's probably a very young guy. And women, they don't like getting with virgins. They want to get with somebody who knows what kind of has an idea and knows what they're doing, right? Who's been through this before. Women don't want to deal with guys who have zero experience with women. A phone. Okay, so hey, I'm gonna head out and go do my 9 to 5. See you when I get back. You want to deal with a guy who don't have a phone? You should have been born 40 years ago, 50 years ago, right? At your age, you would have dealt with a guy who didn't have a phone, right? If this was the 90s, you would have been able to deal with a man that doesn't have a phone. As a matter of fact, you kind of look like Dorothy Ann. Why don't you click your heels 3 times and go back to 1994? All right. A traveling job. Here's the thing, most guys that have a quote unquote traveling job, they're the ones making the money. But I've mentioned this before. When women get with guys, it has nothing to do with money. They don't really get with guys that have money. They get with guys that they can control. So if a man has money, I want to be able to control your money. If you broke, I want to be able to control your whereabouts and your decision making skills. All right. Eyes. All right. So she trying to be goofy. She's not really that funny. Hold on. I'm not logged in. So you get the gist of what you see from that page. All right. So you have a woman who's posted anything and everything on social media. They don't really care too much about you. They care more about the reaction that they get from the audience to manipulate people's emotions from the audience to get that support, right? A lot of women, they get their diehard supporters. Their diehard supporters are, women, especially single mothers, wide back single mothers, men haters, feminists, and that's the majority of women today, right? So you with a guy, and hold on, I want to show you something else. Let me show you uh RJ's salary to show you how much he's made. So remember, the baby was born in last year, and she was pregnant. So I think the baby was born in September, October. So she had to have been pregnant around about January or February of 2023. No, I'll take that back. Around about January of 2023, December 2022. Okay. So you can see right here on his salary throughout his 4-year career in the NBA. The most he made was when he was with the Orlando Magics. So he pulled in about $7.5 million in those 3 years. All right. Seven and a half, $8 million in those 3 years. That's when the money was rolling in. Okay. The Detroit Pistons, they paid you $500,000. But then you go to the Miami Heat, they pay you a little over $500,000. Then you get to the Washington Wizards, and they only pay you. Well, no, you're playing in the G League for the Washington Wizards, so it says right here 120,000. So you're a 6-figure earner. You're probably seeing 7, 6, 7, 8 racks a month, right? But your girl, who's an influencer, who's doing nothing but making goofy videos, oiling up her legs, little prank videos and stuff like that. She looking at her numbers and she said, "Hold on, now I'm looks like I'm making a little bit more than you now." You know what I'm saying? You a G leaguer. I was trying to get with somebody who was a ball player. So y'all having freaky sex right about up until she gets pregnant in December of 2022, January 2023. All right. And that's when 2022, 2023, that's when you was pulling in about $2.5 million that year. All right. But here's the thing. Tragedy struck 2023 when you were let go. You bounced around from like 3 teams: Orlando, Detroit, Miami. All right. Orlando, Detroit, Miami. So your salary is decreasing while she's pregnant. And she sees this. And it's like, don't worry, I'm working on my game. This is that and the third. We'll get back up there. And you haven't. Now you're playing with like the Wizards G League. And I don't even know if he's actually making 6 figures because, when we looked up the G League salary, I think the average player is only making like what, 45, 50,000 a year. So this is a time when women, they like to break bad. All right. Now, Kent Bazemore, we did a live stream on him the other day. His wife stood in there for a number of years, especially when he got his Atlanta Hawks contract, right? That's 70 million, 80 million for 4 or 5 years, right? You pulling in like 20 million a year, and then now you get cut from the Atlanta Hawks and you making 2 million, and the woman's like, okay, 2 million is still good. We kind of have to downsize, but it's still good. Now you in the G League and she break bad. All right. So I want to give you a bird's eye view of how much he was actually making. So let me pull up this video right here. And hopefully you guys will be able to hear it. I got to bend the microphone on the headset to the speaker so you'll be able to hear us. But there's the Shade Room, they was good at putting text on the screen. So maybe I don't have to. Actually, I am going to play it, then we're going to go over it, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to read off what it is they're saying. So 1 second. Hold on. I'm going to play it right now.
I don't care if you have me on recording. I could care less. I just don't want to what I'm afraid of. That's just who you are. That's me like taking it and then like fighting me off and
No, I wouldn't do. First of all, you have laid hands on me before, so you have. I have pictures of it.
I know. You have pictures of it right here.
Yeah, and you text me.
I'm gonna care.
Who's gonna care? Who's gonna care?
Bro, there are bruises. You know, I don't even get into that.
But they came from your hands.
Of course they did.
Okay.
Did I punch you? Did I slap you?
Just because you didn't punch you doesn't mean that's okay. Wow.
Hey, come back.
Wow. At the end of the day, if you like the fact that you can sit here and allow. No, because your child has been traveling since 5 a.m. He's been traveling since 5 a.m. and you're sitting here making him.
All right, so let me run that back. Okay, so you heard the audio. Let me run that back and read it to you guys. So she's like, crazy to me. You're talking crazy to me. He's like, I guess he says, stop talking to me, big, right? So it says you travel 11 hours with a baby, so your baby daddy can see his son. So he's like, man, stop talking to me, please. Damn, shut up. I don't care if you have me on recording. He's like, basically what I'm afraid of because of who you are is like, you're going to give me the baby, right? Or, you act like you're going to hand over the baby. I take the baby. You're going to, fight me for it. Hold on. Taking him and then you like fighting me off of him. And then you go, oh my God, he abused me. I've been in a situation like this, right? I'm going to tell you right now. And I don't want to sound racist. I'll just put it like this. Non-black baby mamas. Well, no, excuse me. Black baby mamas are not the worst. All right. I see a lot of brothers in some of these non-black relationships. When I say non-black, that doesn't necessarily mean white. All right. I see brothers in these non-black relationships and they're going through just as much problems. Right. But here you have somebody that they love to throw the word around, like the abusive word around the most. I remember one time I was dating a non-black woman. I was dating this one non-black woman, and she kept like provoking me and just pushing my buttons for no reason. I'm like, what's your problem? What's the purpose, right? And pretty much all I would do, I'll just pack my stuff and leave, right? But in an argument that we were having one time, she was just like, "Yeah, you're abusive." I'm like, "Abusive? What are you talking about? Abusive? I've never put hands on you. I've never hurt you. I've never touched you before." She was like, "Well, if things continue, you 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 probably will." She said that to me, and these are Karens. I'm not talking about all white women because all white women are not Karens. But these young women out here, these are the Karens in training. And I don't know where she had that phone. She probably had it on her waist because some women, they like to keep it on their waist. So they like to keep it in their cleavage. They'll turn on the video, put it in their cleavage, put it in their pants pocket, put it in their waist, and start recording. All right. First of all, you have laid hands on me before. And he was like, man, get the F out of here. He said, you stupid bitch. She goes, I have pictures of it. And text message of it. You have pictures of it right here. He's like, who the hell is going to care about that? So basically, I think that, because of what he said earlier, he's like, I'm afraid that, if I try to get my son, you hand over the son, then you're going to fight me for him and then scream out abuse. Right. So it seems like he's had to restrain her before. Sounds like she's been violent with him before and he's had to restrain her. And while restraining her, since she has white skin, she probably marks up easily. I don't think this man has swung on her. She hasn't said that. It's already been confirmed that, yeah, these were bruises, but he's like, man, I never hit you. Get the F out of here. Oh, but it came from your hands. Sounds like he's had to restrain her before. He's like, did I punch you? Did I slap you? And she goes, just because you didn't punch or slap me doesn't mean that it's okay. So he said, his son has an ear infection. He's like, man, stop talking to me, yada, yada, yada. So, this is what happens typically in a relationship where some women, right, especially that deal with athletes, it's like they have to downgrade their lifestyle and then they start breaking bad. Or if you're not an athlete, you make decent money or whatever, you're an average man, women that get their 2, 3 kids from you, that get your DNA and they leave. That's what most women do, especially in today. That's just the culture today. Nowadays, when you think about it, that's the culture. I get my 2, 3 kids and I leave, right? And I can't just say, okay, thank you for the 2, 3 kids. Uh, you've done your part. I don't want to be with you anymore. They can't really do that. So in order to justify leaving, they kind of have to put up a fight. And women are very good at disrespecting a man. And when a man stands up for himself, then they get mad at the man for standing up for himself. Now the argument changes to you getting upset with her for her disrespecting you, and you have a reaction by the way she's disrespecting you. All right. Women are very, very good at that. So now it's like, well, because he's been reacting this way, yada, 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 I just took my kids and left. No, you wanted to leave after you had 2 kids anyway, or 1 kid, however many kids. It's a number. They play the numbers game. So here's another video. Hold on. Okay. Okay. This chick talking about she's stranded in Oklahoma. Right? Hold on. I'm gonna pull the video. So here come the tears, right? Here come the tears, the waterworks, right? She crying. I'm gonna play this video, use the microphone, bend the microphone to the speaker so you can hear it. Bear with me. Hold on. She called the police after RJ took off with her son Halo. But weren't you traveling 11 hours there to hand the child over to him?
That I'm stranded in Oklahoma with no hotel.
Yo, she looks exactly like one of my exes. Right here, she looks exactly like one of my exes. Hold on.
That I'm stranded in Oklahoma with no hotel, no car. RJ.
Well, how did you get to? So you flew there. How did you get to Oklahoma? You said it took you 11 hours to get there. Did you drive? Did you take a bus? How'd you get to Oklahoma?
Literally snatched Halo off the ground, walked out, hopped in the car, and left. Didn't tell me where they were going. Didn't tell me when they were back. Didn't take any of his stuff. He's not allowed to do that. We just traveled. Got up at 5 a.m. Took a 13-month-old on the plane. Just had to get off the phone with the police. And I had to describe what my child was wearing. My 13-month-old was wearing.
Oh,
Didn't make sure he had a pacifier.
Didn't make sure you had a pacifier. Oh my God. See, this is Karen 101 right here. This is a young Karen. She's 25 years old. It starts around about when they hit 24, 25. I don't want to racialize the video, whatever, but I'm telling you right now, for women with this pigmentation, this kind of ish right here, not saying all women of this ethnic background acts like this. I'm not saying that, but the ones who are after the athletes, who are caring, right? Even caring in in civilian world, dealing with the average 9 to 5ers, the blue collar, the white collar workers. This starts between the ages 24 and 26. All right. Because women like her, I've dated them in the past. They really feel old at around when they hit 24. That's when they feel away. 25, they really feel away, right? Because in their mind, it's like they age pretty quick. They age quickly, and they start getting more emotional around about the mid 20s. See, there's midlife crisis, but with Karen's, it's like a mid 20s crisis. All right, because they know around about 26, 27, she's going to hit the wall.
Bloody blankets or anything. Doesn't know what time he last ate. Doesn't know what time he last slept.
Oh my God! Now you're making up stuff.
He's never had him for more than 30 minutes. This just shows how little he cares about his child.
He never had him for more than 30 minutes. The baby's one, right? Y'all probably separated fairly soon after the baby was born. All right. And even he said in the video, if you heard him, he said, you talking about you being the best parents, down in Florida, or maybe that's in another video that I have. That's on the Poetic Flacco video. I might play that one. But in that video, he says, like, you don't look after our son. You take our son to your parents' house and your mother watches our son. When you went to Florida, your mother was watching our son. And then she tried to say, well, my mother's a way better parent than you, right?
So now I'm waiting for police to get here.
So she called the cops, right? And over nothing, provoking a man, right? Just to get your views up. As a matter of fact, I'm going to play.
Crazy to me because
I'm going to play this video right here because I want y'all to hear something else as well.
I don't care if you have me on recording. I could care less. I just don't want to what I'm afraid of. That's just who you are. That's me. Like taking him and then like fighting me off.
no, I wouldn't do. First of all, you have laid hands on me before, so you have. I have pictures of it. And text pictures of it.
You have pictures of it right here.
Yeah, and you text talking about it. Who's gonna care? Who's gonna care?
Bro, there are bruises. I don't even get into that.
But they came from your hand.
Of course they did.
Okay.
Did I punch you? Did I slap you?
Just because you didn't punch me doesn't mean that's okay. Wow.
Hey, come back.
Wow. At the end of the day, like the fact that you can sit here and allow. No, because your child has been traveling since 5 a.m. He's been traveling since 5 a.m. and you're sitting here making him wander around the hotel. I'm not playing victim. I'm saying no.
You went to Miami and you were
First of
gone
all,
and your parents kept it.
Yeah.
You heard that? So he's like, he'll come to my house. He has a dad, right? You went to Miami or whatever, and he stayed at your parents' house. You don't watch over him like that.
I'm not playing victim. I'm saying no.
You went to Miami and you were
First
gone
of all,
and your parents kept it.
Yeah, my mom is more of a parent to him than you have ever been. Can you get the hotel?
He's not that old, right? You talking about how he's ever been. I could see if the child was like 10, right? This is a 1-year-old.
Because I have to be here for 45 days.
To Miami and were thought you get the hotel.
You went to Miami and you were a thought, you get the hotel. So I guess she wants him to book a hotel for her. But it's like, you're recording me.
5 days.
To Miami and were thought you get the hotel.
That's not the document that you signed.
I don't know. She's talking about some document. That's not the document you signed. Right? So I want to leave this. Actually, wait a minute. I want to pull up that other video. No, I want to pull up this picture right here. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep it at. Hold on. Why isn't this showing up? Okay, I want to keep it right here. Right. So, young brother, Texas, North Dallas. Right. Um, got with a woman who's a couple years older than him. Right. Seemed like things haven't been going in his favor as far as his hoop dreams. Right. Good enough to get drafted to the NBA, but it's up and down. And you know what? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I know everybody's choice who have hoop dreams want to go to the NBA and get the bag, but man, like in the last live stream, we talked about Quincy Spencer Davis making 20,000 a month in Taiwan, in a place where just to survive, you probably only need 1,500 a month, right? So maybe balling overseas, hopefully Taiwan will be an option for him if the G League isn't really paying that much. I know Taiwan, but can't always assume that everybody just wants to take their skills overseas like that. Here's the thing, though, man. I think this man right here was targeted because the way she's provoking him, it sounds like this was her plan all along to gain sympathy from the audience, right? When you can put yourself out there to be an abuser, now women will gather around and kind of, I guess, quote unquote, protect you, or they'll follow you. You could pull the heartstrings of a lot of women, right? Women, they love they love turning guys. They love turning guys into into villains, right? And I'm gonna read the comments. Should I put up the comments? Let's see what women have to say. Let's see what women have to say. Let's read the comments because, I mean, we already know on TikTok, TikTok, that's like a cult-like following, right? Don't matter if you right or wrong, your audience will ride with you. You saw what happened to me January of 2021, all right? When somebody who I wasn't even talking about sent her audience over to me, acting like I made a 4-hour live stream about her, and I didn't, right? But they believe anything. Nobody, a lot of people on TikTok aren't really using their brain. It's just, I like this person. She made a call to action. Let's attack this man over here, right? So, this woman says, sis, where is your money, right? You have 1.5 million on TikTok. You a social media influencer, 150,000 on Instagram. You went to Miami, right? You went to Miami, and then when you drop your son off to see his dad, you ain't got no money for a hotel or. And how did you get there? Did you get there by bus? 11 hours. Right here, she tried to crucify a man for being a good dad and getting his 12-hour weekly visitation. Like, please cry me a river. All right, that's from a man. Let's look at what the women are saying. She wanted everyone to feel bad for her, and it backfired. That victim mentality is not attractive. Y'all baby mamas be causing unnecessary drama a lot of the times. Clout chasing and using your, privilege and your child is nasty work. He was safe with his dad also. Next. She was so excited to go see her ex. Now she crying because she's there and got into an argument. Girl, please. Okay, so I, we just gonna move on. All right, so number one, being a baby mama seems so ghetto. Number two, this is the father of your child. I'd hope he's equipped to properly take care of him. Number three, being a baby mama seems so ghetto. Stop telling us, tell the police. That child was never in danger. Oh, I don't want to go there. He's saying she's dangerous. Girl, just stop. Y'all had a disagreement, nothing more. Stop trying to make him out to be some bad guy. Y'all gonna learn. Okay. Y'all still haven't learned? She's saying you flew there, but I don't think she flew there. You flew there with no plan beyond your baby daddy as a plug. Failed to plan, then you for sure plan to fail. Call your parents. Didn't you say you traveled 11 hours for the baby to see his dad? Him taking the kid is him seeing the kid. Go enjoy your free time. He's obligated to take care of the kid, not you. Women got to stop playing games and playing themselves. So, the platform in which most women bash brothers, right? They're actually being objective on this one. Dennis Banguda. Hope you're doing well, brother. Stay positive. Salute. Salute. All right. So here's the thing, man. Over on the Shade Room is where I saw this. Most of the women there are not co-signing her behavior and what she did. It's like now you're trying to conjure up a story for your social media page, for your TikTok page, right? Why would you travel 11 hours to go bring the child to the father and him not being able to spend quality time with his son, right? And the thing about it is, you wanted him to book you a hotel. It seems like, I don't know, it sounds kind of weird. It's like, it seems like you trying to get this man to want you back and to beg for you. And he's like, man, I'm not going. You cause a lot of problems. Seem like she's a little shit starter. And he's just like, hey, man, I'm cool on you. Right? I'm cool on you because you heard in a video, she said like, something about she ain't got no, like, he's like, you went to Miami, right, to be a thought. Why don't you go book your hotel? Because she's asking him to book a hotel, right? Sounded like she wanted to go back with him to his home. And, another basketball player attacked. Another brother's attacked. Man, we have to stop giving our attention to these types of women. All right. We have to go back to the good old days, the good old biblical days. All right. I know we don't want to, seem religious. I know, the Bible was written by man, right? It's not a book of reference. We know what religion was used for. But, some of the things that were said, some of the things we need to abide by. We need to take it back to old school traditional rules and, filter out women who don't want to follow those rules. Men got to have to be men again and step up because this type of shit right here is ridiculous. First of all, y'all not even married. All right. And being married, it probably would have been worse for him. So I don't blame him. But you were having freak offs. Well, I shouldn't even say that. You met a woman, thought she was cute, and a lot of these women, when they target a man, they love bragging about how they never say no to this man when it comes to sex because they have an agenda. These women, they have an agenda to have a child, right, or children. And what they do is they let you have sex with them any given time of the day. any given time, anywhere, damn near, right? They want to know what you want to try, what new things you want to try, what freaky things is on your mind. They'll let you do it, right? Hey, you want to have sex every day? Then, oh, okay, cool. Because in their minds, they know you're gonna slip up and bust off in them, and they just might get pregnant, and they're not on any kind of birth control, right? A lot of these women, they're not on birth control, so they never turn you down for sex. At one point in time, especially black women, they used to love to be the ones to control sex in a relationship, right? Now, when you have these women that have an agenda, right, just to have their kids and leave, they'll never turn you down for sex, hoping that okay, he's gonna bust off in this at some point in time, and then you do. Then she gets pregnant, right? Then she's going. Her hormones are going up. You know, they're up and down while they're going through their pregnancy. They have postpartum distress. Postpartum depression, which I'm not gonna downplay. That is a real thing, but for whatever reason, the women of today, their postpartum depression is what's breaking up these households. I mean, whatever goes on is so violent, right? Their mood is so volatile, it causes them to break up their own household. Then they end up back on the dating market as a single mother, right? Here's the thing. Then you recording this man, you provoking him, you trying to argue with him for whatever reason. Sounds like you didn't try attacking him before and making up bullshit on this man, and you're recording it. Then you call the police on him when in the video you admitted to saying, hey, I'm traveling 11 hours to bring you your son, right? So what you crying for? You crying because you didn't get to go with them? You crying because you can't go to his house? We're not together. We're not married. This sounded like this chick wanted to get bent over and have another kid with him. That's what it sounded like. Pro athletes should get a vasectomy. I think we all should, but I've heard the dangers behind that. I feel like she did something to that dude for him to call her. Like, man, it's really their attitude, right? It's really their attitude. He was lying on him. You mean he was lying on her, or she was lying on him? Which one? She's playing victim. Yes. Because in this video, yeah, she still loves him. Yes. All right. Yes. Dude, I've been in a relationship like this before. I remember I was in this relationship. This chick was about to damn near be homeless because of me. Right? We was living in the house together. Our lease had ended, and you know, I had a place to go to. She didn't have nowhere to go to. Right? So I said, why don't we just start all over? I was kind enough to be like, hey, why don't we start all over? Look for a townhouse. We'll invest in a townhouse. I'll pay for the damage deposit and everything and the rent. Just go look for a good place for us, and I'll take care of the financial part of it, right? She doesn't. She doesn't put my name on the lease or bring me the lease at all. She was like, oh, I took care of everything. So now when I get you, you know, it's the winter time in the north. So it's very cold in the winter. You have no place to go. Don't really have any money to move into a new apartment. I looked out for her, but she didn't look out for me. Long story short, man, there was a bunch of arguments that she started with me. And mid-argument, she was like, man, I could call the police on you and get you kicked out of here. I'm like, what you can't get me kicked out of a spot that I pay for. And she told me that, hey, your name isn't on the lease. And I was very young at the time. I was like 23. So 23, 24. So that kind of those type of issues I wouldn't have today, right? But she said that, and when she said that, I didn't even play no games with her. right? Because she was like, oh, I want to break up. I want to break up. I didn't put your name on the lease. So I didn't argue, right? And he probably did the same thing. This guy right here, I'm pretty sure he reacted the same way as me at the time. Okay, I'm not going to play this game. I'm not going to argue with you. The first time you threatened me with this, right, over a disagreement, and this is where you want to take it, okay, I'm leaving, right? So I left. And I left, and I believe 7 or 8 months later, I needed her to sign some paperwork, right? Uh, it's a long story short. Like I didn't need her. I really didn't need her in the long run. I didn't really need her to sign anything, right? But I was trying to. Uh, it has something to do with a visa, all right. I really didn't need her for it. But I asked, like, hey, could you sign this? And then all of a sudden she was hollering about $300 and no, I ain't gonna sign it till I get my $300 and $300, 300. I'm like, 300? You tripping like I haven't seen this person in like 8 months and you hollering about 300. But in between the 8 months I haven't seen you, you never asked me for this 300. As a matter of fact, while we were together, you never asked me for no 300 or whatever. And basically, it was a time when I was over at the airport. I tried to start up my car. The car wouldn't start. So I needed a new battery, but the battery needed a jump start or or something about a tow truck coming over to take the car to an auto mechanic shop, and she took care of it for me, right? At the time. But man, like in between then, I had paid rent for her. We were together, so I was paying rent. I was paying all the bills. Like got her an iPad. I took her out many, many times. So I'm like, you hollering about some $300, man. I've spent thousands on you, right? And so I went over to a friend of mine, and I'm telling him what's going on. He's like, nah, man, she still likes you. That's why she don't give a damn about that $300. She still likes you, and it's her way of, you know, putting you in check and controlling you. She wasn't ready for you to go. I could see that, but damn, like, but whatever, right? Sounds like this guy was going through the same thing. Not about no $300 or whatever. Sounds like, you know, with her little social media shenanigans, the arguments she's starting, wanting to be in control, right? But it's kind of out of your control to a certain degree because I'm on the road. I'm trying to get this money. I got hoop dreams. I'm trying to provide for us. And, financially, my career, things aren't working well. My career is taking a dive. And you coming at me. And the way you're coming at me, oh, man, this is dangerous. So he probably didn't even play no games with her. He probably was like, hey, I'm out. And she's mad that he's not sitting around playing games with her. She's mad that she's not able to control him and check him. She's mad that he's like, hey, you know what? I give up. Good, fine. All right. You call me what? You did this, that, and the third. All right, I'm out. And I think, like you said, this woman didn't want him to go. But her actions, her attitude, her disrespect, right? Not a wife, not even a good girlfriend, right? It's like the moment you get your kid, your seed, things switch up. It's like, okay, I got this little man right here, this little girl right here to keep you in line, right? To get you to do what I want you to do. And if you don't do what I want you to do, right, and which they don't even know what they want you to do, but if you don't do it, then I could always run to child support. Here's the thing, man. Some guys they don't really go tit for tat for you. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, what makes it even worse, not only are you probably disrespecting me, violating me at home, it's like you low key, throwing jabs at me online and lying to your 1.5 million followers, your audience. And it's like, hey, you know what? I'd rather just be out your life because I can't win. They're going to think what they want because you're telling them what it is for them to believe between us. I'm not doing none of this stuff that you talking about. You put me down, you making a list, right, of guys that you're not going to ever deal with again. And it's like, man, look, I'm going to just wash my hands like Mr. Palmer says. I'm going to wash my hands and keep it moving. I'm going to keep my veins ice cold and I'm going to wash my hands and keep it moving. And what did she do? She ran to social media and you recorded everything. And people watching this video see, okay, this woman's full of shit. Why don't you have a car? Why didn't you fly over there? It sounded like you took a bus. Why don't you have money for a hotel? Right? And like I said earlier, man, this woman wanted to go home with him. You see, women, the culture of women now, and this is on a global scale, the culture of women now is to break bad on a man after the kid has been born. This baby is only 13 months old, right? Look at them. Look at them. This is the norm. This is happening all over America. It's happening all over Canada. You meet a man, right? I just need you to be by my side. The money will always be here. You're taken care of. It don't matter if I'm in the G League or I'm playing overseas. We're going to be all right, right? He's only 23 years old. Could you imagine if he goes to Taiwan like the last live stream I did before this one? Talking about Quincy Spencer Davis. Could you imagine him going over to Taiwan right now and making $20,000 a month? And Quincy, he's still playing at 41 years old over there. So the competition doesn't seem to be that tough. So this guy could be playing for the next 20 years in a place like Taiwan, and if that's 20,000 every single month for the rest of the year, or just, I don't know if it's just the games you're playing or 20,000 a month a year, but let's say it's a year. You make it 200,000 a year for 20 years. Man, that is like 4 million over the course of time in Taiwan. Even people who work in the medical field, a lot of doctors don't even see that kind of money in Taiwan. Right? So as long as I got hoop dreams, yeah, we probably gonna have to move around. Yeah, at times we're gonna downsize, but if you stay by me, man, we're gonna be all right. Right? There's gonna be some ups, there's gonna be some downs, right? There's gonna be some people that are gonna try to steal from me. As long as you there, I got my girl, I got my son. I feel like it's gonna be all right. But you don't have, that home with a lot of women. A lot of women, they don't know how to make a house a home. They make the house a ring. They turn the house into a what is that called? A UFC ring. They turn that house into the octagon when you come home, and you don't even know why. Because they have to come up with an excuse to get away from you, because that's what they wanted to do. They want a kid and they want to do everything by themselves and get away from you and be a single mommy. That's what they want to do. But I can't just say, be honest and be like, hey, thank you, because, freezing my eggs or, going to the sperm bank and going through that process, that's really, really expensive. And I don't have that kind of money to do that. So I'm just going to use you to get free sperm and do things the traditional way, have sex the traditional way. Then when I have the kid, it's thank you and fuck you, right? But I'm still emotional. I don't think one kid is enough, right? Now it's like you a single mother out here in in America, right? And you know, I don't know what your type of men are, right? But it seemed like the caliber of men that you're probably going to get from here on out, it's probably going to be a lot lower than what your baby daddy is now. And then every guy that you meet with, you're always going to tell the story in such a way to where you are the victim and for them to feel sorry for you. I'm going to tell you right now, right? When I caught on, I say I was about 22 when that awakening happened. Actually, I was 19. I was 19, but I like the light bulb came on when I was 19. But when I had my true awakening, I was 22. And from then on, every woman, like I ask about, hey, what was your longest relationship? Okay, damn, what happened with that relationship? Why did it end? And when I hear about their excuses, right, it goes through one ear and out the other. I'm just trying to have conversation. I want you to tell me, I just want to hear the lie because I know it's a lie. I want to hear the bullshit, but I don't believe them. All right. You deal with a lot of guys who, not once have I ever met a woman that said, hey, you know what? It was my fault. I was rude. I had a slick mouth. I was disrespectful. I wasn't caring. I didn't think of teamwork. I only thought about myself. I was very selfish. I messed around with his brother. I messed around with his friend, right? I got a slick mouth, right? I made dumb decisions and I didn't take no accountability in the relationship. And that's what happened. I've never met a woman who's ever told me that. Every woman I ever met, it's like they just perfect angels out here. And such is not the case, right? This woman is caught in between her feelings and society. She's caught in between Western culture. Look at that face. That is a woman who's caught in between Western culture, her feelings towards this man, right? Postpartum depression and the influence of social media. When they say influencers, right? And you see that number next to these influencers, which influencer has those kind of numbers next to them that's showing motherhood with a family, right? The man as the protector, the provider, the head of the household. Somebody who it's like, two people that are together that is creating a family dynamic that respects each other and they listen to each other, right? No, the influencers, the people who influence the masses, the people with the most followers, the largest followings, right? They're the ones that are putting out a lot of slick ish about men, right? They do content on other things as well, but it's like they're either single mothers or it's a lot of slick talk about men, right? Balancing out the different male hoes that they have. They call them hoes. Balancing them out, acting ratchet. Everything and negative under the sun is what makes an influencer today. And it's influencing the minds of the masses, especially the younger ones that are coming into womanhood and manhood as well. Okay, we got Abe. Low key, a lot of these professional athletes have no game and think what they do too much. Durant is the smartest NBA player I know. Yeah, Durant, he just turned 36. He has no kids. And a lot of people in the comments section, they were clowning him. Like, hey man, it seems like you know how to make them buckets, but you're missing you're missing the mark inside of the womb, is what people were saying. And no, that brother is smart. You know, he's at peace. That's going to affect your game. You look at this. Look at this woman right here on the right. Look at this right here. Look at this right here. Imagine getting a phone call with this emotion in the background, and you got to go hoop on the court. You can't put up 20 when you got a woman at home like this. At best, you can put up is like 3. A field goal and a free throw. That's it. Not even a 3-pointer, a field goal and a free throw. You missed the other one. You ain't getting no playing time when you got a woman like this at home. Right? You can't focus when you got something like that. And then trying to bash you in the media. And guess what? This is what prevents you from getting picked up by an NBA team who was watching, like, hey, man, all this press that's going on between you and your baby moms, you know, we just gonna have to sit out. I'm like, sit out? Like, damn, like, she lying on me. Nah, I'm sorry. That's it. Look what happened to Quincy. This man renounced his U.S. citizenship, got married. About 5 years later, no, 8 years later, got a divorce. 7 years later, after he got married, he got sent to prison for 30 days for domestic violence. I'm like, 30 days for domestic violence? Something don't sound right. If you that's if you really like trying to win, you ain't that ain't 30 days right there. Right? That's somebody that lied on you. 30 days is like, we gonna set an example. You shouldn't even be messing around with our pure Taiwanese women anyway. That's what that means. Right? You shouldn't even be pollinating our flowers out here anyway. Yeah. Yeah, you should be over there in the thorn bushes back in your hood. Yeah, them type of women. Them thorns with all the wasps in the thorn bush. That's what you need to be around, the spiders. Those are the women you need to be going through it with. You're going to come over here and pollinate our lilies, right? You're going to pollinate our sunflowers out here. That's what the government of Taiwan did to him. That ain't a man who's beating up somebody trying to win, getting a TKO. A TKO would have sent him to jail for a minimum of a year. Right? So your baby moms can affect your career, especially when you're an NBA player, you go in the G League, you're trying to get back in the NBA. Teams are looking at you. You're trying to prove yourself like, hey, I'm an asset to the team. Right? And then bam, this happens. This happens. A whole video recording of you and like the conversation, her reasoning for recording you and crying, it don't make no sense. You crying talking about he ain't even got his pacifier. Shut your dumb ass up. Boy, man, you know what? And Abe is right. Y'all gotta vet these women better. You know, who's the lucky one? I would say the luckiest man in the NBA, and I don't know everybody's home life, but LeBron James is very, very lucky. Right? I don't like a lot of decisions he's made during his time in the NBA. I don't, but he is very lucky. His home life, you know, for the most part, it hasn't been this right here. I'm pretty sure he's gone through it with his woman, right? But it hasn't been this. Man, I'm trying to put in this work for us, and you trying to get me got for what? You know, you got these women out here. It's like you want to live off of somebody, but you want to post videos of somebody to ruin him, but then again, you want to live off of him and get your hotels booked by him. How does that make sense? Boy, man, let me tell you. Oh man. You gonna have some of y'all brothers, man. Y'all gonna have to go the AC Green route. Hey, go AC Green, be a virgin, get your teeth knocked out, and then lose your virginity in your 40s, right? Save your money, lose your virginity in your 40s, because let me tell you, this ain't it right here. This ain't it. I feel sorry for that brother right there. You know, and him talking about shut the F up and BC, that's what hurts him. But at the end of the day, I know he's frustrated because it's like, you're constantly bringing this BS towards me, right? And I could almost imagine that she's lying. It's like, she made it seem like he kidnapped her. Like, man, I'm spending quality time with my son. Then you run to the internet. See, this ain't a teammate right here. This is an opponent, right? This is a rival right here. A lot of y'all brothers, y'all messing around with these women, and you don't even know this is your rival. And you let things slide, you let things slip, right? And when you don't wake up and be like, hey, man, I have strong emotions for this person, but I can't keep them around because I know where this is going. If you ain't strong enough to let somebody go, then you're gonna get got just like this dude right here. I don't think this is gonna affect him too much, not too much, right? I hope he's okay. I think he just need, like Mr. Palmer said, keep your veins ice cold, wash your hands, charge it to the game. If he's not able to go back into the NBA, I think, you know, if he should get his passport and hoop over in Taiwan, join the SBL or the P League. Don't renounce your citizenship, right? Get them 20 bands a month, living in Taiwan and your rent in a in a 1,500 square foot apartment for $400 a month. Go ahead and get that in Taiwan. All right. Go ahead and get that. Boy. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns? Check out the links in the description box below for the Facebook page. I made a new beat. I need to mix and master it, and I'm going to post it on Instagram. So follow me on Splash Wave Beats. I got to mix and master this one good because, man, I'm back making beats. I use Ableton. Ableton, they just put out like a brand new standalone hardware, but there's like mixed reviews on it. You know, the way people feel. I would much rather get it because I got this keyboard with me. It's only like 25 keys, but it's big and bulky. Pause. And the Ableton Move, I saw it. It's like the size of a keyboard. And that's what I need to carry around. This takes up like my whole bag. So I'm back making beats. You know, I've been creating. So, you know, follow me on Instagram, Splashwave Beats. Check out the Patreon page. I'm going to record a video. I think I'm going to charge my phone and go outside. I might go to the mall and record a video over there and post it up on Patreon. All right. Share this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit the like button and don't get caught up. You know, it doesn't mean you have to stay single and sexless. Right? See the signs early and fight your emotions. Right? You know, because I mean, if you look at her Instagram pictures and her TikTok videos, she's not a bad looking woman. Fight the urge, not the woman. Fight the urge from getting with, you know, from sticking around with these women, because these women, they are a lot of women. The culture now is they're here to destroy you, and you see it, right? They don't see it. It's like it's like who did Jesus say in the Bible? Hey, one of y'all gonna betray me. Was it Judas? Who was it? Who was it? It was in the book of Matthew. He said, man, one of y'all gonna betray me. You will deny me 3 times. And dude ended up hanging himself, right? You got, like, when you somebody with experience and you sit back and it's like, man, I've seen this many, many times, right? See, this dude right here, he's not old enough to peep game. But I'm sure if he was 10 years older, if he was like 33, then he'd have been like, nah, I can't knock this woman up. I can't do it. All right, she fine as hell though. I mean, she bad, you know, in shape, but I can't knock this one up. This one, you know what I'm saying? But see, he hasn't really seen too much. He 23. He's used to everybody saying yes. People showing up to his games to watch him play in high school. A lot of women throwing themselves at him. So this is probably the first time, like, he's gone through this type of, more than likely, he's gone through this type of issues with a woman who's targeting him. If he was 10 years older, I'm pretty sure he would have dodged her without, you know, making a baby with her. Salute to Philly, rent free. Hey, man, look out. I'm going to have a new logo on the way. All right. The new logo, I'll give you a hint. The new animal is going to be a wolf. All right. Y'all don't know my theme is rent free. It's animals. You know, animals minding their business, chilling. Right. So this logo, I made it in the year of the tiger, but the next logo is going to be a wolf. All right. So I'm gonna get that made and I'm gonna present it to you guys. And another thing. If you guys want merch, I'm gonna have to set up another website because I bought t-shirts from a company, and this company is thorough. For those who have been around since the Taiwan days, when I was living in Taiwan, I started making rent-free gang merch, right? And, you know, it took me a long time to receive the products from America living in Taiwan to test it out, the sample products. And I was very disappointed. I'm like, damn, you know, I'm just going to have to start this up again when I get back home. Now that I'm back, man, I purchased some products. I purchased a t-shirt a couple months ago, and it's flawless. I'm actually wearing one of the shirts right now, right? Not the Tigers. I'm wearing the Panda Bear one right now. And like it doesn't fade, anything like that. So, you know, the quality of the t-shirt, the thread count is really good. So I'm gonna have to get more samples and you know, of different products from this same company to test it out. I want to put it on some New Era hats. I want to put this on a New Era hat. That's what I want, you know. But now to be t-shirts. So stay tuned for that. You guys be safe. I'm over the mouth. Peace.